Howdy, have you ever heard of the Bleeding Waterfall in Antarctica? How about the Zone of Silence in Mexico? What about a pure hot pink lake on a deserted island? Or a continually burning crater known as the Door to Hell? There's really some variety in all these locations, and science can have a hard time figuring out how to explain them so far. So what say we explore these mysterious locations together? Lake Hillier. Far, far away, on a remote island on the south coast of my home country Australia, there is a secret island that travellers aren't allowed on. Middle Island. On that island is the mysterious Lake Hillier. What's so special about this lake in Australia? Well, it's pink, like Barbie bubblegum hot pink all year round. And there isn't yet a full explanation as to why this lake is such a blindingly pink hue. But scientists posed a couple of theories. One theory has to do with its sheer saltiness. Like, the ocean's already really salty, and Lake Hillier is like 10 times saltier than the ocean.
That's a little salty.
And there's this algae in the lake that loves salt, called Dinaliella salina. The theory is that this vibrant pink coloring comes from this salt-loving algae, as it produces beta-carotene, the stuff found in purple cabbage. Note the cabbage's pinkish color. Look familiar? The other theory is that the lake is full of pink-producing microbes called halophilic archaea. That being said, even if the lake is full of microbes and algae, it's perfectly safe to take a swim with the algae and microbes. But you might get a very salty mouth if you swallow the water. Plus, the federal government forbids visiting it. So I'm guessing since it's forbidden to visit, no tourists have been there? 149 reviews. Well, clearly my country's doing a bang-up job keeping people out of the lake. Well, let's see what they thought.
I had a great time visiting the Pink Lake. Well worth it.
Hey, hang on, you're not supposed to go there. How'd you get there?
Well, if you must know, I wandered off from the tour. Well worth the 4-hour cruise. A truly stunning wonder of the world.
Yeah, it's sure pretty. Did tourists give any negative reviews?
1 star. The lake is too pink and too salty. I don't like pink. I thought it'd taste like pink lemonade, but when I drank it, it tasted salty. The government should not allow so much salt in the water. I don't like it. Change my mind. 1/2 star.
Honey, where'd you find that review?
I made it up.
The Blood Falls in Antarctica. Holy cow, well this is among the most unusual sights I've ever seen. A blood-red waterfall flows from the Taylor Glacier in Antarctica, giving us a simultaneously beautiful and horrifying spectacle. We've known about this strange blood-colored waterfall for over 100 years, ever since a geologist discovered it in 1911. The pristine white Arctic ice is completely stained a ghoulish red wherever the waterfall spreads. Although the water emerges from the end of the glacier perfectly clear, it rapidly turns the shade of blood. And for a good century, this blood falls has been a mystery to scientists, up until about 2023 when we got a reasonably good theory. Now, obviously as humans, when we see this red, the first thing many people think of is blood. But when we look at the red sands of the Australian deserts, we can see iron. Iron turns red because the metal reacts to the oxygen and moisture and forms rust. While scientists aren't certain, as of 2023, this iron reaction is the most agreed upon theory. The blood falls are filled with iron-rich water. You may be wondering why this waterfall hasn't frozen. That's because this waterfall is so ridiculously salty that it can't freeze. It's like 4 times more salty than the ocean. But we don't fully understand the underground conditions that actually cause this. But the water comes out with tiny iron-packed nanospheres. These nanospheres rust as the water pours out from the glacier and hits the air. Rust equals red. But even if it is just a chemical reaction, this is damn well one of the most magnificent natural wonders I've ever seen. The boiling river of the Amazon. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, a river with near boiling temperatures runs for over 4 miles. Sometimes it'll even boil to 210 degrees Fahrenheit, or 98 degrees Celsius. Not ideal bath temperatures. The mysterious part is we don't fully understand what is heating it. While the temperatures of a normal jungle stream would be more like 81 degrees Fahrenheit or 27 Celsius, this boiling river just cooks anything that it touches. Technically, this boiling river should be impossible. And scientists say that non-volcanic rivers shouldn't be able to reach these kind of crazy temperatures. But for the longest time, the heat source has just remained unidentified. The most recent theory suggests that the reason for this near-boiling river is the stream flows over geologic fault zones. This is basically where the underground is so intensely deformed that the Earth's crust has just shifted, and deep waters here rise from shockingly close to the Earth's mantle. This results in searing geothermal waters rising from deep in the Earth, and turning any animal that touches it into a boiled egg. Would any explorers dare visit this place? Of course they would. Why wouldn't us humans want to visit a river that could scour the skin off our bones? And holy cow, that looks dangerously hot. What were the reviews of this place like?
Translated from Spanish. Highly recommended. Everything is beautiful. The heat, the landscapes, and the people. The locals say the river is a place of great power and spiritual significance. It's now home to a handful of spiritual healing centers. 5 stars.
It's just not the same without a 1-star review. What did Pedro say?
1 star. The tourist booking system is crap.
Thank you, Pedro. The door to hell in Turkmenistan, aka the Darvaza crater, 70 meters across and 30 meters deep. Damn, what a monstrously beautiful piece of nature, isn't it? Well, it's not technically fully natural. This crater is located in the Black Sands Desert in Turkmenistan. Information is unreliable, but the generally shared belief is that back in 1970, Russian scientists were using this crater as a gas drilling site, but the natural gas crater collapsed while they were drilling, and they decided the crater would be safer if they set it on fire. That way the toxic gas isn't leaking out.
Love the gas, Meg. Love it!
Thus we get this. This crater has been continually burning for well over half a century. But one scientist also reported that he spoke to geologists in Turkmenistan, and they said it was originally gurgling with gas and mud in the 1960s.
The crater actually formed in the late 60s and was gurgling with gas and mud.
So the exact date of when this thing started burning is unknown. All that aside, particularly at night, it indeed does look like a door to the burning hell described in some religions. Originally, the scientists thought the gas would burn out within a few weeks. Over half a century later, and well, it's still on fire, fueled by a seemingly endless supply of underground methane. The true mystery about this place is no one knows when the fire will finally stop. But according to scientists at an international conference on hydrocarbon, as of 2026, after over 55 years of fire, the flames are finally reducing. According to the director of Turkmenistan's energy company,
The reduction in fires is nearly 3-fold.
well, it gets us a start. We're still a bit far from that 3-week estimate though, and we can certainly see from the tourist pictures from 2026 it has reduced. When Russian authorities were reached for questioning, this was their response.
Oops. How bad?
Yeah, I suppose half a century of fire happens sometimes, I guess. In reality though, it probably is safer that this crater's been burning for half a century. As Dr. Stefan explains, if you're not constantly burning that methane off, it can build into a huge fiery explosion, which might look cool, but it would be very dangerous to be nearby. So, what do tourists think when visiting this fiery anomaly? Well, according to Monica,
The bus ride was too bumpy. Insignificant. There are 3 craters, one filled with water, one with boiling mud, and one with flames. They're nothing special. I don't like it.
I don't know, a crater of fire feels pretty special to me. And I really thought that crater of water you mentioned was beautiful to behold. Look what a beautiful blue it is. What did this visitor think?
A surreal wonder. It feels like something straight out of another planet. It's especially beautiful after sunset, when the desert sky darkens and the crater lights up the surroundings in an eerie orange glow. Standing at the edge of the crater, you really feel the raw power of nature and human history colliding.
The Wandering Rocks of Death Valley in California, aka the Sailing Stones.
The rock. Oh, the pioneers used to ride these babies for miles.
Damn, you are not going to believe this one. Unless you've, heard about them before. Anyway, These so-called sliding rocks in Death Valley actually appear to move on their own. In their movement, these massive rocks leave a long track along the dry desert ground. No animal is moving these big rocks, they just slide along. Sometimes the tracks they leave are curved, sometimes they just turn randomly, and the movement has never been observed by humans. Miners were the first to notice these sailing stones in Death Valley more than a century ago. But where human eyes could never observe this mystery, science could. The sailing stones were scientifically verified using cameras and GPS trackers. And yep, when we check the cameras, those rocks be moving. For the longest time, we had no idea why these stones just crept along the valley on their own. In the 2010s, scientists discovered that a rare combination of rain, big ice sheets, and wind causes stones to glide. But the exact process of how these large stones wander is not completely understood and remains debated. Oh yeah, why don't we talk to a tourist who went there? This beautiful desert area where it all happens is often called the racetrack.
I got a flat tire getting out here, but once I got there, it was unique, secluded and peaceful. All that natural flat space. It's like you're in the middle of an airport or the world's largest softball field. And yes, I saw where the rocks had slid across the surface.
That review was too helpful. I want a bad review.
Not sure it's worth it. Access is from a bad washboarded dirt road. I did not like the road. It was a good adventure, but not sure it was worth the wear and tear on my car.
That's more like it. I want disappointment. Ooh, how about this one?
The racetrack has been desecrated. Too many geology students throwing their frisbees around. They were all right near the most picturesque part too. Not worth it. I don't like it.
Yeah, but now that you mention it, who doesn't want to throw a frisbee in Death Valley? Next, we have the Crooked Forest in western Poland. Oh, this one is so cool. This mysterious grove has hundreds of deformed, gnarled pine trees. Each one has a sharp 90-degree bend at their base, all pointing northward, like a J shape. So we've got this bizarre, unnatural-looking forest with 50-foot pine trees that look like a giant came along and sat on them all. What's wild is the cause for these strange pine trees remains unknown. Since the pine trees were originally planted nearly 100 years ago in 1930, there have been many theories since then. One theory blamed gravitational anomalies. Another theory believed that snowstorms could have bent the trunks. But the general belief is that some form of human tool was used to make the trees bend so unnaturally. But even to this day, the method has never been figured out. The reason they were deformed, though, is believed to be to create unnaturally curved timber to use in boat building, maybe furniture. These crooked trees remain one of the world's strangest unsolved botanical mysteries. We might have had information recorded on why these trees were looked like this, but, well, World War II happened. And during that time, nobody was really writing down anything about the trees. Maybe they should have been. Anyway, what did visitors think of the crooked trees? Here's what Sarah said.
Some look like dinosaur feet. It's an adventure just to find it. Defiantly worth a visit.
I think they meant definitely.
No, defiantly, it said right there. Defiantly worth a visit.
Though there were some middling reviews.
Fascinating, but not very clean due to uncivilized people. And there are lots of mosquitoes.
Oh, come on, where's the 1-star reviews?
1 star. We couldn't find the forest. More signs needed for us tourists. Very disappointed.
That's more like it. I want disappointment at the beautiful wonders of nature, damn it. The Yonaguni Monument. This is a strange one. If you've ever scuba dived in Okinawa, the locals will probably ask you if you saw this monument. Off the coast of Japan, underwater divers discovered a giant rock? Or is it a structure?
It's a rock! A rock!
Whatever it is, it resembles pyramids and staircases. Some geologists think these human-like rocks are indeed human-made monoliths. Some have claimed the formations must be at least 10,000 years old, dating back to a period where it would have been above water. Thus they surmised it may be a remnant of the mythical lost continent of Mu, though these claims have been described as pseudo-archaeological.
You've got a degree in baloney.
And other geologists believe that it's most likely natural, but there still isn't a scientific consensus on exactly what the Yonaguni Monument is. Surely tourists haven't visited this one, as underwater. 18 reviews. Oh, the tourists are scuba divers. Okay, let's take a look. Apparently, this dive requires diving experience due to the strong currents, so most of the tourists have been scuba diving for years already.
This dive site is the Palace of Lights under Yonaguni Island. It's famous for its scary hammerhead sharks and underwater ruins. I like the cavern dive sites too.
What do Google reviews say?
The current here is harsh, but you can visit if you're a qualified diver. You will see the astonishing underwater monuments, but don't expect them to be magnificent, as they were built thousands of years ago by our ancestors. 5 stars.
I don't know. To me personally, when I see these pictures, I think it just looks like a very convincing rock. That being said, I haven't experienced it up close. What do you think? The Zone of Silence in Mexico. Though you could also potentially call this the Zone of Meteorites. This very strange desert patch is 25 miles northeast of Ceballos, Mexico, and it's a desert area with an infamous reputation for causing very strange things to happen to electronics. And a lot of things like to crash here. Rockets, planes, meteorites, mostly meteorites. Supposedly, radio signals and any type of electronic communication can go haywire here. This is why some like to call it the Mexican Bermuda Triangle. Long ago, a pilot named Francisco Sarabia flew over this plane in the 1930s, and his ship's electronics went haywire for some reason. Even in the 1960s, the Mexican petrol company Pemex sent a team out to prepare to construct an oil pipeline, but they ended up getting strange radio anomalies that affected every single radio. We later found out from declassified documents that in the 1970s, a radioactive rocket lost control here and fell near this Mapimi silent zone. There's been reports of dead radio zones everywhere here. And so far anyway, there isn't a fully accepted explanation for this phenomenon. What makes it even stranger is that it's not consistent. Sometimes these dead zones will happen and sometimes they won't. There's plenty of funny legends here too. Legends include the quote-unquote strange magnetic anomalies that prevent radio transmission. Some even claim that there are mutations of flora and fauna here. And what would this place be without reports of alien visitations? All these rumors have certainly helped to promote tourism too. So let's see what tourists thought of the Silent Zone. What did Itchy Boots say? She rode her motorbike through the Silent Zone.
It gets very hot here. The silt pits create huge dust clouds. It's terrible for riding. My dust filter needed replacing. I saw horses. The vegetation was amazing for such a hostile environment. But my compass didn't work right. The electromagnetic field here is as strong as the North Pole, which is why it attracts a lot of meteorites and space debris.
I couldn't get confirmation on this fact, but it does bring us to the theory of why is this such a radio dead zone? The most widely accepted scientific theory is due to the region's unusual ground composition. Supposedly, the signal disturbances are due to the magnetite in the ground. No, it's a mineral, not a Pokemon.
They're minerals.
This is a mineral with very strong magnetic properties. As well as this, the rock formations contain high concentrations of iron and other conductive materials. Itchy Boots mentioned this is theorized to be because of a massive meteorite slamming into this area long ago. And the Silent Zone has indeed had 3 large meteorite impacts over the last 100 years. This is part of why it's theorized to have such a unique electromagnetic environment. This strange but unique ground composition interferes with radio waves and electronic instruments. Obviously, this doesn't explain all the supposed alien sightings, but I suppose many mysterious places do get claims of alien sightings. Honestly though, it was near impossible to find reliable sources of information on this place. Even the Wikipedia article was a stub. So to me, there remains a lot of mystery behind this Mapimi Silent Zone. The Hessdalen Lights in Norway.
Seymour, the house is on fire!
No, Mother, it's just the Hessdalen lights.
This is perhaps the most unknown phenomenon of them all. To this day, there aren't any solid explanations for these lights, what they are or how they happen. Since the 1930s, these unidentified lights have lit up the sky in a 7.5 mile long stretch of the Hessdalen Valley. These strange glowing lights just appear randomly without warning, but unlike, say, the Aurora Borealis, these lights hover and move unpredictably, and they can float through the above valley, day or night. Sometimes the Hessdalen lights appear for a few seconds, sometimes for over an hour. Interestingly, in recent years, the Hessdalen lights seem to have dwindled in appearances. In the 1980s, they were reported 15 to 20 times weekly, but as of 2010, they only appear about 10 to 20 times yearly. It's honestly astonishing how little video coverage there is of these, given they've been occurring at least 10 to 20 times per year for the last 90 years. I thought at least, National Geographic would have some footage of them, but no, leave it to the wacky UFO channels to take away all credibility whatsoever. One freaking National Geographic coverage was all I asked. The best footage I could find was from 2023, and even then the guy couldn't even use a freaking 4K camera for Pete's sake. Who takes night camera footage of the sky in 2023 with freaking 480p? Jeepers. Anyway, obviously one of the first, less scientifically grounded explanations is UFOs. And given the lights appear randomly in the sky every year, I can definitely understand leaning towards that ungrounded belief. I'm not saying I agree, but the scientific explanations aren't exactly great, or easy to understand for that matter. The Italian National Research Council have a couple of plausible theories, but these certainly aren't the definitive answers, and none of them are agreed upon. Probably the most plausible explanation is the combustion of the airborne dust from mining in the area, a combustion phenomenon that is not fully understood by science. This is believed to be due to the large deposits of scandium in the Hessdalen Valley. There's other dry theories like plasma forming from Coulomb crystals in the dusty air, or gas bubbles rising into the air and becoming electrically charged. I wanted to show you the verbal reports of people who've seen the lights, but unfortunately most of them are in Norwegian with no available translations, so we'll move on. And if you've got any strange places you'd like to share that could use a good scientific explanation, feel free to leave them in the comments. Maybe we've got some aspiring scientists that can explain them. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a very pleasant week. And thanks very much to my patrons and members for keeping me running another month, as well as a big thanks to the people in the credits here. I'd also like to read the fortunes of patrons in the shout-out tier. Alright, Anna Jones, sharing your blessings multiplies joy for all. Phoenix Star YT, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Set your spirit free. This is true. It is a gift for yourself. John Bondi, your couch will soon be jealous of your new ambition. What's your fortune, Angel Angeline? Your to-do list just filed for emotional distress. Take a break. Glitter Wolf, nurture your body as it will carry you far. Indiecore 2, trust your instincts. They guide you towards great opportunities. 3Cat Day, unity blossoms when hearts share stories across borders. Pixel Puppy, your journey within reveals treasures beyond imagination. Keep exploring. Casey and Dalton, one for each of you. Casey, new doors will open. Step boldly into the unknown. And for you, Dalton, success follows those who dare to dream boldly. The Furry of Fury, inner strength shines brightest in the moments of challenge. Miss Arceus, your heart is a black hole. It sucks in compassion. Keep shining. Oh, I like that. Joseph Bowers, forgiveness is the key that unlocks your heart's peace. To Jordan McCann, creativity fuels progress. Let your imagination lead the way. To Chandler Amethyst, clarity of mind brings success to every endeavor. Megan Bruns, good things blossom in the garden of patience. The Hug Wizard, this one's a bit generic, but I hope you like it. Your next big idea will be so bright, it needs shades. That's a bright idea. Rain Graves, kindness is a gift that brightens both giver and receiver. Satin Yoshi, quiet your mind and clarity will guide your path. William Johnson, true leaders inspire others to find their own strength. Erdassen, your voice has power. Share your message with confidence. Joe Ferry, new paths reveal hidden treasures. Welcome the journey ahead. To Mewtwo Shadow FNAF Girl, honesty is the best policy, unless you're a magician. To Check It Omega, your values are like socks. Wear them proudly, but don't mismatch. To Kelly Bisson, here's your fortune. True strength shines brightest in moments of honesty. And Neil Speed, here's your fortune. Your life is like a seesaw. Find your peanut butter and jelly. Well, that just makes no sense. Does it mean your life is like a sandwich? Well, either way, thanks to my patron bosses and thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with a new video soon.